Folks, today I'm trying to answer a question from a viewer or a subscriber, and this person is into aviation. He's made an aviation video where he has two video sources, I gather, from his question. One, I guess, is going to be maybe on the outside of his aircraft, and one's going to be on the inside, maybe shooting back at him or something. And he wants to know, how does he use just the audio from the cockpit. So some of us have done this before. If you've not done it before, then it's very simple to do in Premiere. And so he's using Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm going to show him how I do it, and real quickly and simply here. So here we go. I've done driving videos before where I do this sort of thing where I'm in a car and I have one on the outside, but today I just did this by walking away from one of my video sources. So I have two sources, one which is in my hand and one which is on top of a pole. And so I'm going to pull both of these two videos here actually. I'll pull one onto a timeline. First I need to make a timeline. I'm going to say new item. I'm going to do a sequence. And I'm going to go ahead and use AVC HD 1080p 24 because that's what I've done. I'll just call this audio sync. Call it anything you want to. I'm just doing that because that's what this sort of is. This video is about. I'm going to pull this one source down here, and then I'm going to pull the other source down here alongside it. Now, these are not synced at this point. Now, if you've watched a lot of my videos in the past, you'll know that I manually sync a lot of times. That's because a lot of times I'm using an external microphone hooked up to like a Zoom H2 or a Zoom H1, something sort of like this. And so if you manually do it, you can very, very precisely synchronize the audio. A lot of times I'm just using two video sources. I'll go ahead and let Premiere do this for me. So you might have not seen me do this before, but I'm going to select both of these. I can either click on it and hold the shift key down to do both, or if they're unselected, I can just drag across them like that. I'm going to right click here, and you're going to see a little thing that says synchronize right here. See that? If you click on that, then you can tell it to synchronize audio based on channel 1 or on channel 2 or whatever channel you choose. You can also do clip end and start and all that. I never use this. If I ever do this, I just use the audio. So I'm going to say OK. It's going to analyze those, and it's going to hopefully synchronize that. Now I can test it just by going in here at the beginning where I was doing both, and I can see how it sounds. I'm going to hit play. Well, hello folks, Tony. So if that were off, I'd be hearing multiple versions of me talking. The other thing I did is, even though I forgot, usually I do a hand clap at the beginning to synchronize to something like an audio spike. I did put an audio spike on here. I snapped my fingers. So let's go ahead and pull this down. We can look at these both, and we can see right here my finger snaps. And you can see, if I zoom in here, if I pull that in zoom, it looks like those little spikes are synchronized up. So Adobe Premiere does a pretty good job of syncing audio. The reason I do it manually a lot of times though is this only gets it to the frame. And so you see it's just slightly off, just a tiny little bit. Now if I chose to want to actually really synchronize this audio perfectly, then I can do that. I can actually like pick one of these that I don't want to be synchronized, or that I don't want to be synchronized with the video perfectly, and I can click like maybe this bottom one or this inside one here, and I can, or let's do the outside one. Let's do the outside one. So I've clicked on this video and this audio, and I can unlink that. So I might do that right quick, just unlink. Then I'm going to zoom in. What I can do, I can go over here to this little settings thing here, and I can do show audio time units. And so then I can zoom in even farther, and I can see how that's off a little bit. And I can just grab this one here and just pull it just slightly, and until I get those audios just synced perfectly. Now this is now a little out of sync with this video here, but hopefully our eyes will not even notice that. Then what I typically will do is I'll go back to the little wrench here, the settings again, and I will turn the audio time units back off so that we're just looking at true frame rates with the video. So now the audio is perfectly synced. If I hit play here, you'll hear absolutely no delay, and that's where I was doing my little synchronization with my fingers. So now I've got two audios synced up. One of them is going to be good audio, one's going to be bad because I'm walking away from one of the sources. So let's go ahead and just, what I'm going to do, I'm going to clip the video off the beginning here. I'm going to do a C key, turns my little pointer selector into a cut tool. And since I didn't have this, since I unsynced that, I'm going to have to click that one too. If I want to, by the way, if I want to go back and resync this video back to that audio again, I can just click on this, hold my shift key down, do that. Then I can right click and I can say link. And now we are back to relinked again, where I can click on one and it clicks on both, and we can edit that. I'm going to do a right click right in here to do a ripple delete, just to pull everything back to the beginning. So now here on the screen I have two synchronized tracks of video. One is sitting on top of the pole, and that's this one here, and the other one's where I'm walking around with the source in my hand. Let's go ahead and hit play and watch what happens.
Well, hello folks, Tony here, and I'm holding my
Now if you see, if I turn this video off, you see me there holding it.
GoPro Hero4 on my stick. Here you can see that.
And there you go, you can see where I have the GoPro on the pole. So I have this in sort of like A/B mode right now, and I'm not doing an A/B edit. I'm just going to show you how you could use the audio. So we know that since this number one here is the one where I'm walking away, I'm going to be walking way back into the back, into these areas back here on the other side of where this park bench is. So the audio for this is going to get worse and worse, and you can see here, you look at the wave, it gets less and less. You won't be able to hear anything I'm saying. And if we test that, if I go back to here, and you'll see I'm back over in here, and I'm still talking. Let's turn the audio off. You see what you're doing, you hit the little buttons here to toggle the video on and off. Well, let's go here, let's turn the audio off for track 2. So now we're listening to just the audio from the one that's sitting on top of the pole. It's going to sound terrible. Here we go. You can barely hear it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this one off and this one on, and now I got the good audio, and here's what it's going to sound like.
In front of my face. Forgive my face today, I've not shaved. Today is Super Bowl Sunday, and
so you're hearing the audio, you're seeing the video for this one, which is distant, but you're hearing the audio from the one that I've got in my hand. So the way you're going to do this, probably, if you want to use your cockpit audio, not the audio that's outside of your airplane, is you're going to just hit mute, right? And then you're going to go back and forth. Now, for those of you who maybe want to see, and I realize you came here probably just to see a shorter video, you didn't want me to go on so much, but if you want to see my A/B editing style, let's go ahead and do that too. So I'm going to clear off some of the stuff that's on the back here. I'm going to hit Control Save to save my project at this point. And then I'll show you how I do A/B stuff. So right now, the audio that I want to use is this audio down here on the bottom. It's audio 2. And you know, just for the heck of it, I'm going to go ahead and just probably, I'm going to unlink again here for a second, and I'll show you why in a minute. I'm going to unlink, and I'm going to copy this audio. I'll say copy. Now I'm going to go over here to File, and I'm going to do New Sequence. Okay. So this will be our mixed video. We'll say A/B. So this is our A/B mix, and I got the same sort of sequence set up here. I'll say OK. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull audio sync into mixed video. What I did, I went up here and I grabbed the sequence, not the videos, but the sequence. So what this is, I've grabbed the sequence, which is actually this. I grabbed that, which this equates to that, and so I pulled it down onto there. So there's actually 2 tracks of video in here, right? And there's 1 track of audio. The audio it's probably selecting is audio 1, which I've muted. I'm going to go ahead and I just like to do it this way. This is the way I do it. I'm going to click here. I'm going to do unlink, and I'm going to get rid of that audio so that I know it's using my good audio. Make sure I'm all the way back to the beginning. I'm going to do Control V. Now that puts the audio that I just copied from here, right? This is the audio I want to use, so that's what I've copied, and I've gone here to my mixed video A/B, and I placed that audio there, so I know it's using the right audio. Now I'm going to click on the video. So now what this is video with no audio, but it's synchronized up. And I know this audio is synced up just fine with it. So I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to say multi-camera enable. And so that allows me to go, if I set my monitor right over here, to go to A/B type edit. So now I'm going to go to over here. I'm going to click on the little arrow again, or the little wrench again there. We're going to say multi-camera. And now what I'm going to see when I pull across here, I'm going to see 2 cameras. It should. And I got my A and my B. So now all I have to do at this point is just hit play and click on one or the other of these 2 camera angles here to pick which camera angle I want. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and we're going to edit this piece of video right quick.
Well, hello folks, Tony here, and I'm holding my GoPro Hero4 on my stick. Here you can see that. And so what I'm doing today, I'm answering a question for a viewer. And that viewer says, you know, he's into aviation. He wants to know, the audio is going to stay good on my Hero4 that I have in my hand about 1.5 feet in front of my face. Forgive my face today, I've not shaved. Today is Super Bowl Sunday, and the Carolina Panthers will be playing the Denver Broncos, and go Panthers. I'm hoping the Panthers will win that. So what this is a little bit of demo video to show, hopefully the audio will sound much better, even though it's a little bit windy here, so you can see what's happening.
So that's enough of me doing that, folks. 12-minute video, I don't want to go over that. How did I get this big screen as we were doing that edit? Well, I hit the tilde key. The tilde key is the one underneath your escape, right above your tab, over on the far left of your screen, and that will tilt your whichever window you have active. If I had this, it would pull that one open. If I had this, it would pull that open. So I just use my tilde to go ahead and do that. So I've edited a piece of video here, and here at the end you can see, here all my switches and everything are there. All my different camera angles. If I just hit the space bar, it'll come across these various little lines here, and those are my edits.
The Panthers will be playing the Denver Broncos, and go.
And if I want to go back, of course, out of this view and actually see my real mix, then I might go back to settings, take it off of, and go back to composite video. If I do composite video, then I can sit here and I can watch this mix. I can click this and do the tilde, and I hit play and I can watch it.
And so what I'm doing today, I'm answering a question for a viewer, and that viewer says,
So there you go. I'll tilde back out of that, and that gets me back. And now if I want to do my edit, of course, I would just make sure that this window here where the sequence is with the blue, it has a blue around it, I've clicked in it. I can do file, I can do my export, media, and I can fix my settings the way I want them to be. And this would probably be something similar to what I would do, maybe 12. I like to go a little higher quality than maybe 15 or so here. And then I would export this file. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you like.